never really brought the fan base together with the club. I don't feel it's more like a Riverside as supporters group hosted event as much as anything else. So they're trying to get some fan zones going now that we've got the site at Robin Park, which is right next to the Rugby League ground. Wigan run that site now, so they can make commercial profits from events at that site. So the bar there, Wigan make the money from. If people come in to sell food there, they have to pay the fee to Wigan Rugby Club, not to the stadium management company, and stuff like that. So it was the first of what we hope are going to be many through the work I do with the fan engagement board there. I've been involved in trying to come up with ideas for what we want to see for the fan zone and potentially hosting the fan zone on occasions going forward and that sort of stuff. So I just want to say, whilst there was definitely things to work on, and I've already fed those back to the club and they've responded in the way I would have hoped, which is very much taking them on board and acting on them already, is great to see. And it was great. And yeah, Dan Sargentson and Tom Davies were down there, and then Liam Farrell, when he didn't quite make the cut for the team, late fitness issue for him with his knee, just a niggle and a twinge. He'll be back next week. Did you go
full fangirl on the Ginger Pearl?
Of course, I told him how much I loved him and how I said to him, like, when I saw him at Magic Weekend, I said, when I saw you at Magic Weekend, I asked if you were going to be back next week, and you said yeah, and then we've won every game, and now you're not in. Like, I'm worried. And he told me there's nothing to worry about and he'll be back next week. But yeah, it was great. The sun helped without a doubt. But yeah, it was a great start, I think. So that I really enjoyed, and being sort of a part of setting it up and that sort of stuff, and walking into the Robin Park arena and like directors at Wigan saying hello to me as I went in. It was a buzz from my point of view, from a very personal point of view. Chris Radlinski waving to say hi as he's on his way somewhere, but making sure that you saw him saying hi. A fucking buzz. What a buzz that is. But anyway, that's my fanboy stuff out of the way. Yeah, predictions.
Yes.
I went 4 out of 6 last week. I'm 66% overall. Basically, I maintained my status quo. Sarah,
she's had a shocker.
Time talking about how fantastic she'd been in the predictions, because, I mean, some of them were tough ones. Hull FC let her down. That's always gonna sting.
Maybe the fame has gone to an incredibly knowledgeable head. Maybe there's actually too much knowledge in there, and she's had to push some out. So her predicting ability has gone out. Yeah.
No, I'm sure it'll be back on track very quickly. But 1 out of 6 this week for Sarah takes it down to 57% in our tracking. But in the Super Brew, she's still doing all right. Alan's on 68% and you're on 61%. Definitely not the easiest of week predictions. But Dave Wellings did well. He's the new wearer of the yellow cap for best weekly performance, and a new name for us to mention as well. Yeah. So well done, Dave, and welcome onto the mentions list. Although co-host Alan who takes over at the top of the table from co-host Sarah. So it's still a strong race between those two in the Super Roo standings. I'm starting to feel like Alan might have the edge because he's going to have a dispassionate view of some games, whereas Sarah obviously being involved in the Super League with a club that she supports. Different story. In the Fantasy League, Alan Bagley stays top, although Sarah Morgans is really closing in on him in what is an exciting race for the top spot there. Previous winner Liam Reddington had the best weekly performance with a massive 698 points, to well done to Liam on that front. Thanks to everyone who got the fan views in on time or late. Make sure you get them in on time next week. Use the Google fan form. It'll be tweeted out after every single game across Twitter. If you don't use Twitter, get in touch with us. We'll send you a link. Message us through facebook.com/Super League Pod. Message us on Instagram at Super League Pod if you follow us there, or send us an email superleaguepod@gmail.com. Okay, we're now going to move on to other results from the world of Rugby League.
So now time to look at the other results from Championship Round 19 as well. We'll start where it finished. Barrow 6, Toulouse 36. Bradford 62, Widnes 0. Halifax 18, Featherstone 24. Rochdale 28 in Swinton 36 in the game that was moved to Rochdale Mayfield under much consternation and short notice.
I had a chat with someone about this who said Rochdale Mayfield arguably a more professional setup than Rochdale because they have youth development, they own their own facilities, etc., etc. But
they're able to put the posts in before 20 minutes before a game.
Yeah, but I take Swinton's point of view of that. There was other options that they could have explored to play on that.
Yeah, and I think it was also the point that Swinton were making that they had to move games to Widnes at great expense, etc.
Yeah.
So why did Rochdale not? It kind of, it's worrying times for Rochdale. I really think that they could be in serious financial trouble very quickly. As I think once their relegation is confirmed, I think they're going to be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
There's no
investment, is there really? That's the
exactly, and there's no one to tap into because of their ownership model. Unfortunately, there's no one who's going to come on and just put in a little bit to bide them over. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. He's finished York 24, Dewsbury 21, Batley 10, Toronto 14. We had some feedback on this one.
Yeah, Attila Murphy said traditional candidate red and white for Toronto, but overall an error stream performance with a low completion rate, mitigated by individual flashes of brilliance by Ackers and O'Brien. We did better running up the hill in the second half, but it didn't feel like we were 30 points better than Batley. Presumably the only way Darcy plays in the UK again this year is wearing a false moustache and glasses. No, there's already too many moustaches knocking around these days. And Rajan Tande said, it looked bad for Batley at 12 down after 9 minutes with Toronto steaming down the hill at them, but Toronto had an error-strewn 20 minutes and plenty of effort from Batley meant it was a respectable 6-24 at half-time. Second half was closer at 4-16, but Toronto scored just after half-time, which killed any chance of a comeback. Toronto ran a lot on the last tackle to maximise their size advantage and wear Batley down. Now, for Raj, this must be a tough one, because obviously he's a Batley boy, but he lives in North America now, so he must have had a foot in both camps, even though he's a London fan too. He's a bit like you.
He's been round everywhere, yeah. Wherever he lays his hat, it's his home, etc., etc. Sheffield 18, Lee 22, finishing out the championship. Where are we in the standings?
So Toronto keep their 10-point lead at the top. The chasing group are on 26 points are Toulouse, Lee and York. Featherstone are 5th on 24 points. Sheffield and Bradford on 22 sit just outside the playoff spots. Halifax in 8th on 16 are starting to look like they're getting cut adrift. Batley and Swinton have 12 points but are still involved in the relegation battle, as are Widnes on 10 points. Yeah, Widnes just didn't turn up this week, did they? Dewsbury are just out of the drop zone on points difference ahead of Barrow. Rochdale stay bottom on 2 points, and it's looking hard to see a way out for them with only 8 games left.
So into League One, round 14, and it finished on the Our League app on Saturday at 3 o'clock, finished Coventry 10, Doncaster 54.
Come on, Bears!
Yeah, I had to do that how many times?
It felt like a lot.
It did. Definitely did, especially as...
I didn't even watch the whole thing, and I feel like I heard that about a dozen times.
The water was starting to evaporate. I didn't even have it in my water bottle because it was that warm up there. Coventry, I mean, they were, let's be fair, missing probably 15 potential players that would have been in that first team reckoning when you take into account the large injury list, players who've moved on and since the start of the season, and the 8 players involved in the student internationals. So because it wasn't just England students, it was Ireland, 4 players for Ireland students as well. So I think
they don't have a Wales student player as well.
Not this year.
They've moved on, right?
Yeah. Large churn in the side. Tom Sang had even named himself in the 19 because he was thinking that he was going to have to come in and play at one point because of the things. Young Jack Danes, I thought, actually did quite well on his debut. Came in earlier than he thought because of the earlier injuries. No, that's Elliot Hall.
He was okay too.
He's done really well. He's done fantastically well this season. He's been one of the shining lights. Really scored. I think it's about 13 or 14 tries already.
Right.
So he's done really well. But yeah,
Jack Nick Newman from the squad's
it's
a real changer, isn't it, in terms of where
it's the in-game kicking, it's the organisation, it's that bit of leadership on the field as well, and it's the ability to get something out of absolute bugger all. And certainly like the Workington game, the 2 tries that came from complete magic, and there isn't anyone, with all due respect, there isn't anyone who's got that crafting ability at the same level. Fair play to him. He's taken his chance to go, and he's doing very well up at Newcastle. But yeah, and it was just
the club can't stand in his way really when it,
you know, the offer was good for everybody concerned, it made sense.
If you'd have kept up the early season form, then maybe you wouldn't have had to look elsewhere, but that wasn't the case. What else happened in League One then this week?
Well, just one more point on this was I don't know if you're still watching this point, but the red cards decision in about 50 minutes in.
Yes.
Which, watching it live, everybody up on the gantry thought it was absolutely ridiculous. Even more people in the bar thought it was ridiculous, and everybody I've spoken to since, and then since I've rewatched the footage, it just, I can't see how you got to a red card for those 2 players for that incident. I could understand the yellow for
in a sin bin to calm the situation down and give people a chance to take some cold water on board would have been more fitting for what occurred.
Yeah, there was a clear punch thrown by the Doncaster player, and it had all been started by a push from Jack Ray. So putting them both in the bin to cool off. Well, possibly looking at someone else who ran in as well and for a punch.
There was a similar instance in the Wigan-Salford game, actually, where Romain Navarrete hadn't really done anything wrong, and Gil Dudson punched him in the face, and they both got sin-binned, which also felt a bit like, wait a minute, one of them threw a punch at the other one, who was gripped round the neck by the time the punch came in. Now, he might have come in and give him a bit of a shovel, I think more verbals for him reacting to a tackle, Dudson, but yeah, similarly confusing how they came to the outcome that they came to in your game, certainly. Yeah.
And one more point on this thing as well was fantastic to see England international Caitlin Beavers on the line. They were running as a touch judge and did a very good job.
Yes, looked like the quickest person on the pitch.
I think she probably was by quite some distance. Yeah.
Okay. What else happened then in League One?
Yeah, it finished London Scholars 6, Whitehaven 28. Well done to the men in chocolate up there. And North Wales 14, Keighley 6.
Yeah, Mark,
and we had someone get in touch on this.
Yeah, Mark said, Crusaders ensured back-to-back wins, although the game never really caught fire. The teams exchanged excellent tries in the first half, but aside from that, neither side did enough to keep the other under pressure. Crusaders scored again after the first set of the second half, and that was the end of the scoring in a game punctuated by stoppages. Crusaders probably could have made more of their chances, but Keighley looked rudderless.
Yeah, well, there we go. And it finished Newcastle 48, Workington 10. Double hat-trick in this one for Newcastle. 2 players picking up hat-tricks. And Oldham 56, West Wales 6.
So all that means that Whitehaven are still on the top on 19 points with a 1-point lead over Oldham in second. Newcastle are up to third on 17 and Hunter have 16. The Scholars are in fifth on 15 points. Doncaster have 14 points, Workington have 12 points, North Wales on 10 points to the last side with an outside chance of the playoffs. Then Coventry, Keighley and West Wales are the bottom 3. Women's Super League, Tim.
Yeah, at Odsal on Sunday it finished Bradford 6, Leeds 18. Caitlin Beavers backing up and starring in that game again after having done the full 80 minutes in the heat on Saturday, running the line. Wakefield 6, Wigan 44. Wigan getting back to winning ways despite 2 key players being out with injuries.
Well, they haven't really been. Wigan haven't really been able to get the holy trinity of Greenfield, Thompson and Walsh on the field at the same time at all this season. Walsh is in plaster at the moment. I'm not sure what's up with Rachel Thompson. She's obviously injured.
And she had a cast in her arm and it came off today, according to Instagram.
Right, when I saw her at the Wigan game, I couldn't notice a cast from a distance away when she was doing some of the community stuff that she does with the kids at half before the kick-off, I think it was.